As an old player who had his love for this game revitalized, I have been on a journey learning a bunch of cards that I've never heard about before, and today we are going to be taking a look at an old archetype that got a ton of support, and that being the Amazonas archetype. I remember watching these back in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX back in the day, dude. All of the cards that came out when they first came out, when I was playing this game initially, they sucked, but there's so many now. I would imagine just like so many other archetypes, you have some broken variables over here, okay? Let's start things off with Amazonas Archer over here. This is a warrior, 1400, 1000 attack, 1000 defense. You contribute 2 monsters to inflict 1200 damage to your opponent. You know, I don't mind that. I don't know if we're going to take a look at any other cards that are on here that like have different effects when they end up being tributed, but there's something, you could do something pretty quick with that, inflict 1200 damage. I love cards like that. That's just like, okay, we're done now, game. Like, I love finishing games with Gaga Gaga Cowboy, so this is definitely something that I would include in the deck, whether or not people see it to be a good card, okay? We have a fusion that I've never heard of over here, Amazonas Augusta, okay? So you need 1 Amazonas fusion monster and 1 Amazonas monster. Your opponent cannot target other Amazonas cards you control with card effects. Also, those cards cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. If this card is fusion summoned using Amazonas Empress or Amazonas Queen as a material, it can make a second attack during each battle phase. If this card is fusion summoned, you can special summon 1 Amazonas monster from your deck. You know, not bad. I like that the card's not completely busted because you can still have things that return to the hand that don't target that you can get rid of it. Like, something that I don't like about the modern game is how difficult it is to get rid of some cards that are in existence right here, but I like this. I think it's cool. I like the effect for it. This really is a boss monster, but the question is, I don't know how much of a hassle it's going to be to get out. So I guess we'll find out as we continue on over here, okay? Let's keep going to Amazonas Baby Tiger. This card's name becomes Amazonas Tiger while in the field or in the graveyard. If an Amazonas monster is normal or special summoned to your field while this card's in your hand or graveyard, you can special summon this card. You can only use this effect once per turn. Gains 100 attack for each Amazonas card in your graveyard. Okay, you know what? I thought we were about to read something because you get it. If an Amazonas monster is normal special summoned to your field while this card's in your hand or graveyard, you can just get it for free, so you can get this card each turn. I thought that I was about to read that you can only activate Amazonas Baby Tiger once per duel, like a glow-up bulb type thing. So this is a very, very good card, and I don't even know what else we're about to go see. It's a free card. You just get, I would imagine you'll run 1 or 2 copies, maybe 3 if you want to end up getting it to the graveyard really fast. But, oh man, look at this old card over here, eh? Amazonas Blowpiper. Select 1 face-up monster your opponent controls during each of your standby phases. It loses 500 attack until the end of the turn. Dude, what a crazy card there is right there. It's so funny, like, looking, and this is what I love that that Konami has been doing, is they've been taking a bunch of old archetypes like the Amazonas one, they've actually been making it viable. The only problem that I have with this whole thing is that they go so overboard with so many cards and the games become too busted in general, but it's funny taking a look at like these old bad cards that nobody will use, eh? Let's keep going for Amazonas Chainmaster, which is another old one, okay? 1500, 1300. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can pay 1500 life points, look at your opponent's hand, then add 1 monster from their hand to your hand? This is a card that I would have loved to use back in the day. What? I do not remember this. I remember Chainmaster. I remember the artwork for this card, but dude, what? That's crazy. Pay 1500 life points, look at your opponent's hand, then add 1 monster from their hand to your hand. Dude, I don't care how like bad that card is and how much it isn't worth having 1500 life points for it. I would use this, and then you know what I would do? I would use Mind Crush. Like, I know I say it on the channel a ton now. I've been a big Monarch guy, or Frog Monarch, guy my entire life, and something that I've always loved doing is using the Spiritual Water Art, and then using the Mind Crush, regardless of whether or not it's okay to have trap cards. Like, I just like looking at my opponent's hand, or using any cards, look at my opponent's hand and go, okay, Mind Crush. It's always been something that I really enjoyed doing, man, so I would definitely use that card just for the fun of it. Let's keep going over to Amazonas Empress over here, guys. This is Amazonas Queen and 1 Amazonas monster. Other Amazonas cards you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. If your Amazonas monster attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. If this face-up fusion summon card is destroyed by battle or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect while the owner controls it, you can special summon 1 Amazonas Queen from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So it's already a good card. I just don't know how good Amazonas Queen is, which I would imagine that the Amazonas Queen's a good card. But I like the fact that in general, this already has the built-in protection for your Amazonas monsters. It's pretty cool. It's a good card. So far, so good on all of these cards, guys, man. I've been enjoying taking a look at it so far. We have an old card over here, an Amazonas Fighter. You take no battle damage from attacks involving this card. Yeah, not exactly the best card under the sun, eh? We're just going to keep going with that one over here. Let's continue on to a pendulum card. Okay, Amazonas Golden Whipmaster. Very cool artwork on this card, okay? So for the pendulum effect, Amazonas monsters you control gain attack equal to their own level times 100. When an attack is declared involving your Amazonas monster, you can target one spell or trap on the field and destroy it. You can only use this effect once per turn. Already, very good. And I've always liked other cards like that kind of do that same thing with the level. Like, I'm a big fan of Burden the Mighty, but of course it's the opposite of this effect. Those oftentimes the attack points, they stack up very nicely and they can end up coming in handy, okay? For the monster effect, if this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. If an Amazonas monster or monster is a special summon to your field while this card is in your graveyard, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. Wow, that's an excellent card. That we're approaching busted territory with that one over there, man. But I think it's a very, very good card. One of the best cards that we've taken a look at today. Let's keep going over here to an old card in Amazonas Paladin. This card gains 100 attack for each Amazonas monster you control. I mean, there are so many other cards that you'd rather run, but it's not awful, okay? It's all right. Another old card, another nostalgic card. And we also have Amazonas Pet Liger, okay? Very cool artwork on this one as well. I love the grassland and like the, I guess like the effect behind him. I don't know if that's clouds or just like a darkish area. I think that's pretty cool. Anyways, we'll end up making a card art commentary on these. This one requires Amazonas Tiger and an Amazonas Monster. Once per battle, if this card attacks during damage calculation, you can make this card gain 500 attack during that damage calculation only. If your Amazonas monster attacked an opponent's monster, after damage calculation, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses 800 attack. Monsters your opponent controls cannot attack Amazonas monsters you control, except this one. It's not bad. I don't know if it'd be worth it to get it out as a fusion, and I still don't know if we're going to have its own like dedicated Amazonas fusion spell where it's really easy to get these cards out. But if we're relying on like your typical polymerization, then I would say that this card's probably not really worth it to get out, to be honest with you. We also have Pet Liger King over here. Your opponent's monsters cannot attack any monsters except this one. You can target one Amazonas card you control and one Amazonas warrior monster in your graveyard. Destroy that card in the field, and if you do, special summon that other monster from your graveyard. This card cannot attack the turn this effect is activated. You can only use this effect once per turn. That's a very good card. So you can swap out pretty well anything that you would like from your graveyard, first of all, and it has that protection where you always have to attack this. And then I'm thinking like, okay, now if you have the pendulum card, that the pendulum card is really easy to get out, this thing can end up being a big problem for your opponents. But you know what I do like about this is the vast majority of the cards that we've taken a look at so far, they're really balanced. That's what I love about this. This would be like a really, really nice, just pure, strong deck. We also have Amazonas Princess over here, guys. This card's name becomes Amazonas Queen. Okay, that's helpful while in the field or in the graveyard. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one Amazonas spell or trap from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Amazonas Princess once per turn. When this card declares an attack, you can send one other card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Special summon one Amazonas monster from your deck in defense position, except Amazonas Princess. That's all great. Well, it's just another really, really solid card by the Amazonas archetype over here. Dude, I didn't know all of these cards were really good. Do people play this deck? Is this something that's like relevant that a lot of people build? Because I've been playing a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis, never run into these cards whatsoever, but I think they're actually pretty viable so far. I see the vision. We still have so much more to take a look at. We also have Amazonas Queen. Now I see why you needed to substitute for other cards, because you have a level 6 over here, 2400, with a very, very subpar effect. At least it includes itself, you know? It's not bad. Maybe it would be worth including one in your deck just for the other effect, but dude, they don't even have a regular image of it over here on the website. Anyways, let's keep going over to the next card over here to Amazonas Sage, 1400, 700 warrior. At the end of the damage step, if this card attacked and is still in the field, target one spell or trap your opponent controls and destroy the target. It has its uses. It might be worth sprinkling like one of them in your deck, depending on how much spell and trap destruction that you actually have. I'm thinking like it could be like a one copy of a Lila that I always use in my Lightsworn deck, but the thing is, I also include Lila in the deck because it's just another name for Judgment Dragon, so I don't know. I don't know how that would work really in the modern game. Like, is it worth having a card like this? But anyways, guys, as you might know, I am your guy with too many YouTube channels. We make daily commentary videos on multiple channels. If you guys would like to, if you happen to like me, you like my content, you want to support or have something for your background noise, check out the link tree near the top of the description, or you can find the direct links to all of my channels in the description down below. Again, we upload on multiple channels, daily commentary videos like this, and I would love to have you guys over there. Thank you so much for listening. Let's continue on over to Amazonas Scouts, okay? During either player's turn, you contribute this card. This turn, face-up Amazonas monsters you control currently cannot be targeted by other monster effects and cannot be destroyed by card effects. Very useful. Very helpful. It has protection, and it is something that you could use during either player's turn. With the game and how it is nowadays, I'm surprised that this isn't a hand trap, but I think it's a very, very good card. It's built-in self-protection right there, guys. We have another pendulum to take a look at. Amazonas and not silver, gold, but silver Sold Master, okay? Wow, what's wrong with me? I said Sild Master or something. Sorry, guys, I'm a little bit tired today. Anyways, it's 7 on the scale. Pendulum effect is Amazonas monsters you control gain attack equal to their own level times 100. When an attack is declared involving your own Amazonas monster, you can target one Amazonas spell and trap in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Again, very good pendulum effect. With both those pendulum cards on the field, your monsters are going to all become boss monsters. For the monster effect, though, if this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. If an Amazonas monster or monsters is special summoned to your field while this card is in your graveyard except during a damage step, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. You can only use each effect of Amazonas Silver Sword Master once per turn. I like both of them, man. I think they're both really good cards. I still do think the other pendulum card that we took a look at is a little bit better, but this one is very, very good as well, man. I can see there being a big problem if you end up getting both those out on the field, okay? We also have Amazonas Spiritualist over here. There's a lot of really interesting artwork for these ones. I can't wait to make a card art commentary on them. Anyways, if this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target one Amazonas card you control, except this card, return it to the hand. And if you do, special summon this card. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except Amazonas monsters. If this card is special summoned, you can add one polymerization from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. Okay, so now we're kicking up high gear with the fusions over here. I was curious about whether or not they would have their own polymerization type card, their own fusion spell card, but it looks like this is just a polymerization card deck the fusion, sorry. So it looks like a couple of those fusion monsters that I was wondering, okay, is it really that difficult to get out? Maybe it actually is that difficult to get out, but let's continue on over to Amazonas Spy over here. You can reveal one other Amazonas monster in your hand, special summon this card from your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can target one Amazonas monster in your graveyard and return it to the hand or shuffle it into the deck. I see it being useful with the special summon effect, but ultimately it's not that great of a card, to be honest. This is this is something that's a little bit old. You don't see a ton of destroyed by battle cards anymore, eh? But it's okay. It may be worth a little bit of a sprinkle here and there. We also have an old card, Amazonas Swordswoman. Your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battles involving this card instead. I mean, you can make use of it here and there, but still, it's unfortunately not exactly worth keeping in the deck. Let's go over to Amazonas Tiger over here, another old card. Oh, wait. Maybe this was the Tiger that was, no, it was Queen that we were thinking of. I think I remembered already taking a look at a card, and I'm sorry that I'm forgetting. There's a lot of cards we took a look at today. Is there a card that said this card's always treated as Amazonas Tiger? Anyways, you can only control one Tiger. This card gains 400 attack for each Amazonas monster you control. Your opponent cannot attack any face-up Amazonas monsters except this one. I remember this bad boy over in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, eh? I love it. Let's keep going over to the next one. Amazonas Trainee. This kind of looks like one of the... It's a Toon card. Gemini Elf? Toon Gemini Elf? Kind of looks similar to it, doesn't it? Or maybe just regular Gemini Elf. Anyways, monsters destroyed by battle this card are returned to the bottom of the deck instead of going to the graveyard. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, it gains 200 attack. You know, I could see this one having a little bit of help with the pendulum cards that already boost the attack points. So you can make it, what, 1900? If you have both of them on, would it make it like 2300? Am I remembering that correctly? And then on top of that, every time that it battles, it gains 200 attack. I don't know how you guys feel about this one, but I actually see a vision for that card in the Amazonas Trainee. Let's continue on over to the War Chief, okay? 1900, 0 defense. If you control no monsters or only Amazonas monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can set one Amazonas spell or trap or one polymerization directly from your deck. Also, you can only attack with Amazonas monsters for the rest of this turn. You can only use each effect once per turn. Solid card. You can get it out for free all the time. Oh, I just noticed it's level 5, but you'd still be able to special summon it. The fact that you get polymerization too, these fusion monsters are actually really good, so that's definitely something that you want to take into consideration. Anyways, let's move on to a trap over here, okay? Amazonas Archers. When an opponent's monster declares an attack while you control an Amazonas monster, change all monsters your opponent currently controls to face-up attack position. Flip effects are not activated. They lose 500 attack, and they also must attack this turn if able. Ooh, yeah, you know what? I see potential right there. I see a little bit of potential depending on like what you have out on the field. I get the vision, but I don't know if I would include this one in the deck, to be honest with you. We also have a quick play spell, Amazonas Call. Take one Amazonas card from your deck, except Amazonas Call, and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Amazonas monster you control. This turn, that monster can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Also, all other monsters you control cannot attack. You can only activate one once per turn. So, I like that it's a quick play spell. You either get a card to your hand, you either get a card to the graveyard, and on top of that, you have that secondary effect, which so many cards nowadays have, where you can take an Amazonas monster and attack just all your monsters over and over again. What about that monster that we just took a look at, the one that gains 200 attack each time? Imagine you're already boosting that bad boy up, and you're just going to boost it even more. I like this card. It's very versatile, okay? This one looks old. I think this one is old. Anyways, Amazonas Fighting Spirit. It's a continuous spell. If an Amazonas monster attacks a monster with higher attack, the attacking monster gains 1000 attack. Oh my god, this is literally just Skyscraper. This is definitely a Yu-Gi-Oh! GX card. I know it is. That's just Skyscraper. What's her name in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX? Crap. The lady that had the Amazonas cards. The Amazonas woman herself. Tina? It was a Tina type name, right? Tanya. Got it. My brain lagged a little bit there. Tanya. Yeah. I'm thinking of like, it kind of looked like when her and Jaden were powering up and like actually fighting each other. I'm sure they ended up using this because Jaden has Skyscraper and she's like, oh wait, my card does the same thing. I could very well see like a storyline with that, okay? Let's keep going to a trap card over here, Amazonas Hall. When this card is activated, you can take one Amazonas monster from your graveyard or face up in your extra deck and either add it to your hand if it's a pendulum monster, place it in your pendulum zone. If a monster or monsters is special summoned to your opponent's field while you control an Amazonas monster card, except during the damage step, you can target one of those opponent's monsters, gain life points equal to its attack. You know what? You don't see a lot nowadays of cards where you just constantly gain life points, and the fact this is a continuous trap, and with the boss monsters that people are summoning nowadays, that's definitely something that you can make use of. And on top of that, you already get to recycle another one of your cards. I actually really like this. I'm somebody who likes this personally because I'm somebody who always plays like Solemn Judgment, Solemn Warning, Solemn Strike. I always use the Solemn cards, and I'm just paying life points just like that. Half, half, half. If there's a format where I can run 3 Solemn Judgments, I'm running 3 Solemn Judgments. So these cards would be incredibly useful to me if I was playing an Amazonas deck, because I know for a fact I would be keeping those cards in as well, all the Solomon cards, okay? We have an equip spell over here. Equip only to an Amazonas monster. Once per turn, that monster cannot be destroyed by battle. After damage calculation, if the equipped monster attacks a monster, destroy the attacked monster. That, I just know that card's old. Not good. Doesn't hold up anymore, eh? We also have Amazonas Hot Spring over here. Another continuous trap. When this card is activated, you can take one Amazonas monster from your deck and either add it to your hand, or if it was a pendulum monster, place it in your pendulum zone. When you take battle damage while you control an Amazonas monster card, you can gain life points equal to the damage you took. Interesting, so we have another one just like that. Wait. Yeah, no, we didn't take a look at, what was that other card? What was the difference with the other card? Hang on, where was it? Oh, it was Amazonas Hall. Okay, it was when your opponent special summons. And this one does, battle damage, sorry. I was misremembering that. You know what? It can't help to have out there. Maybe just like run one copy, leave it there, set it, especially if you're searching for some cards. We also have Amazonas Onslaught. Once per turn during the battle phase, you can special summon one Amazonas monster from your hand, and if you do, it gains 500 attack until the end of this turn, even if this card leaves the field. After damage calculation, if your Amazonas monster battled an opponent's monster while this card is already face up in your spell and trap zone, you can banish that opponent's monster. If this card in the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target one Amazonas monster in your graveyard, special summon it. 3 effects. None of them are like absolutely crazy, but this is definitely something that you'd want to have in your deck. Again, one copy would probably be pretty helpful. Wait, that's a really, really versatile continuous trap card. That's what I've noticed about some of these, okay? Let's get into the Amazonas Secret Arts. There we go. We do have a card that's not polymerization. Okay. Fusion, summon one Amazonas fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as a fusion material. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard once. If you fusion summon an Amazonas fusion monster this turn, you can also send one Amazonas monster from your extra deck to the graveyard as a material. There we go. That's what I was talking about. How some of those cards are a little bit like unnecessarily difficult to get out. Like, you know what I mean? For just having polymerization, you need to have those cards on the field. Now I get it. I see the vision over here. Okay, now we're going to be able to play literally every single Amazonas card. That's a good card. I'm wondering why you wouldn't just revolve the deck around the Amazona's secret arts instead of having the other effects go, okay, you can come and search for polymerization. You know what I mean? But hey, whatever. Maybe this ended up coming out afterwards. Maybe I'm thinking I'm misremembering some cards being old. We also have another regular trap card over here that's not a continuous one. I believe we only took a look at continuous traps so far. Destroy all face-up Amazonas monsters you control. Then you can special summon any number of level 4 or lower Amazonas monsters from your graveyard in face-up defense position up to the numbers of monsters destroyed by this effect. I'd have to really think about what would be best to summon from the graveyard. I just looked at a ton of cards over here, but I'm sure it does have its uses. I don't know about that one, though. This one does look old. Amazonas Spellcaster. Target one Amazonas monster you control and one face-up monster your opponent controls. Switch the original attack of those targets until the end of the turn. Nah, I mean, like, there's a crazy number of attack points some other opponents can get out, so maybe you can run this, but I don't think it's worth keeping up a card in your hand, dude. We also have Amazonas Village. All Amazonas monsters gain 200 attack. Once per turn, when an Amazonas monster is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Amazonas monster from your deck with level less than or equal to that Amazonas monster in the graveyard. Dude, again, another really great card. Dude, you know what I really like about this archetype so far? Is that it has a little bit of everything. We have the field spell, it has its own fusions, it has its own fusion material, it has continuous traps, it has regular traps, it has monsters, it has pendulums. I like that. All we're missing is like exceeds and synchros, but I like that it's kind of like dipping its toes into everything, you know what I mean? Anyways, and this one looks old too. Amazonas Willpower, another continuous trap. Select one Amazonas monster in your graveyard and special summon it in attack position. It cannot change its battle position and must attack if able. If this card is removed from the field, destroy that monster. When that monster is destroyed, destroy this card, okay? Very typical for your Call the Haunted type cards from back in the day. You might as well just run Call the Haunted. Let's keep going over here to Dramatic Rescue. Activate only when a card is activated that targets an Amazonas monster. Return the targeted monster to its owner's hand and special summon one other monster from your hand. Back in the day, it might have been a little bit useful, but it's just not worth it anymore, man. We also have Queen's Pawn over here. Activate only when an Amazonas monster you control destroys an opponent's monster by battle and send it to the graveyard. Special summon one level 4 or lower Amazonas monster from your deck. Again, old format. There are just some cards over here that have not stood to the test of time, man. But I think that there was actually a ton of cards that we took a look at that's very, very viable. And please let me know down below if there's a bunch of people who still play this deck, because again, I haven't run into it. But if you guys want to continue learning deck types with me, why don't you check out, speaking of GX, the video where we will learn about the Yubel archetype. I did not know that that was a good deck, and now I'm suffering the consequences in Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis playing against the deck. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Take care, everybody.